So today we're going to talk about how to get out of a funk and how to use the 4-minute rule to support you to do that. Yes, so it's going to be a nice, short, sweet, actionable training today. As always, I'm Rebecca Lockwood, your neuro-linguistic programming trainer, hypnosis trainer and breakthrough coach trainer, and I'm super duper excited to support you today. So our topic today is how to get out of a funk using the 4-minute rule. Now this is something that I really learned when I first ever trained in NLP, in neuro-linguistic programming. So this is something that I myself have been using in my own life since, oh god, it's been like 5 or 6 years now, and it's been so powerful for me in my own life. And when I talk about this and share this with our students and with people, they always come back to me after and tell me it's been really useful for them as well. So I'm really excited to share it with you. So what do I mean when I'm talking about getting into a funk? What do I mean? What does funk mean? So what I mean is just when you're ever feeling like just not great, not resourceful, bit shitty, bit meh, like you're just not feeling like yourself maybe, or perhaps you've just had a really long day. Yeah, maybe you've had a really long day, you've had a hard day, and you're ready, like you're ready to go home, and you want to get home, and your kid's at home, right? And you want to greet your kid or your husband or your wife or whatever, and you want to greet them in the best way possible, but you're feeling tired because you've had a long day at work. Maybe something happened, maybe it didn't, maybe you're just tired, and that's it, and that's okay. So the 4-minute rule really supports you to be more resourceful. I think is probably the best way to describe it. Be more resourceful and support yourself to feel better. And also, you don't have to necessarily use this to greet somebody else in a good way. You could just use it for yourself, you know. And if you are ever feeling like a bit crap, or you may find you talking to yourself a bit negatively, this is really a good quick win to support you to feel better. So basically what the concept is that it's called the 4-minute rule, right? And basically within that time, the 4 minutes, you are going to ask yourself a better question, right? Because when we think, we have self-talk going on in our brains, in our minds, and it quite often, if you're feeling a bit meh, it probably is negative, right? Whether you're consciously aware of this or subconsciously, it's going on anyway. You just maybe feel a bit tired and a bit heavy, a bit lethargic, whatever. So what's happening is you've got some negative self-talk going on in your mind, and what we're going to do is we're going to ask ourselves a better question, right? A more empowering question to support ourselves to find better resources and feel better within ourselves, okay? So you are going to have to insert the blank, because this is also dependent on what situation you're using it in, right? So for example, if I'll use the example that I said earlier, because this is how it was so powerful for me when I first learned it. So when I first trained in NLP, my little girl was 1 at the time, my eldest. She was 1 at the time, and I was still working my full-time day job, right? I was working all day out in the field selling to businesses door to door, and it was really tiring. And I had a full team of salespeople who I also had to be at the end of the phone to and support them and motivate them as well. So by the end of the day, I was getting home to my 1-year-old, and I was feeling proper knackered, and I didn't want to walk through the door and be boring or miserable or come across like I was knackered, right? I wanted to greet her because she was so excited to see me. I wanted to be really excited to see her as well, right? So the question that I would ask myself as I'm walking from the car to the front door is, how would the best mother look like, act like, and feel like? What would the best mother look like, act like, and feel like? What would the best mother look like, act like, and feel like? Right? And when I said insert the blank, I mean in the situation that I'm using it in the context I'm using it in is me being a mother, right? So I wanted to show up as the best mother, right? So insert that blank. So you just change up that word. So the question that I was asking myself was, what would the best mother look like, act like, and feel like? And just allow yourself, you know, as soon as I say it, I can feel my whole body shifting because I've done it so many times. You ask yourself, what would the best wife look like, act like, and feel like? What would the best husband look like, act like, and feel like? What would the best auntie look like, act like, and feel like? What would the best daughter look like, act like, and feel like? And if you're using this for yourself, so maybe you woke up in the morning and you're feeling a bit meh, you're feeling a bit negative, whatever, maybe you had a bad dream and you're just not feeling resourceful, you can just ask yourself, okay, what would the best version of me look like, act like, and feel like? Or what would the kindest version of me look like, act like, and feel like? Because sometimes we can be quite negative to ourselves without even realising what we're doing, which leaves us feeling even worse, okay? So to recap then, what we're talking about is the 4-minute rule, and this really helps you just feel more resourceful, feel better, find a better state, and just lift off any negative vibes that you've got going on at the time. So you might be in a bit of a funk. That's what I mean with the word funk. So you ask yourself, and what would the best mother look like, act like, and feel like? And allow yourself to really encompass that. What would the best mother look like, act like, and feel like? What would the best mother look like, act like, and feel like? And again, you just insert the blank. So in that situation, in that context, I was talking about me being a mother and showing up as the best possible mother. So I'd love to hear how you get on with this little snippet of, I was going to say it's a technique. I don't know if it is a technique. With this question, so do keep me informed. Head back over. I'm live every Monday on the Facebook page from 1:30, and I always like to keep these short, actionable, and really sweet, so that you can action them into your business or life immediately. So that's it from me today. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm Rebecca Lockwood, your neuro-linguistic programming trainer, hypnosis trainer, and breakthrough coach trainer. So have an amazing week, and I'll catch you again live on the Facebook page on Monday at 1:30. And if you're listening to the podcast, I'll catch you whenever you're listening to the podcast.